Have I been doing it wrong this whole time? I recently saw a video from a guy that I kind of know well. We're acquaintances, more or less, but never really met in person. Anyway, he started a store and was selling message cards, which are super popular, like real hot product in the print-on-demand world. And his store has done like over $1 million in sales. So, first thing, that's very impressive. That's what everyone wants. They want to hit 7 figures. That's always the goal, right? I know that when I hit that mark in my print-on-demand business, it was a major milestone, and I was very proud of what I had accomplished, rightly so. But the interesting thing is how he did it. He priced things low to get the sale, and then added in a bunch of upsells once the person checked out. I'm sure he's also using email marketing big time to get even more sales. So this is a part when, I'm wondering, have I been doing it wrong the whole time? I've always told my students, and I do this too, to never price things low. I've always told them to be the highest priced product in the marketplace, not the lowest. So basically, the reason being, I know there are about 3 different audience segments when you're marketing online. It doesn't matter what the product is. So the first one is the cheap buyers. So if they go to Amazon to buy anything, it could be like a phone charger cord. They'll search Amazon for phone charger cord, and they're going to sort that from lowest price to highest price, always, right? I would say that this market segment represents probably, I don't know, it's different for everyone, but about 60% of the entire audience. It's the largest by far, and I've been ignoring this segment. Maybe I'm wrong. So number 2 is kind of the middle of the road buyers. These are the ones who don't mind paying a bit more, but still kind of want a deal. They represent about 25% of the entire audience you'd be targeting with your ads or with your products, like in my honest opinion. So the third segment is the rich buyers. Now they prefer to buy the most expensive product. They go to a website like Amazon, and instead of sorting from low to high, they sort from high to low. And this, I would wager, is probably 15% of the target market. So the question is now, have I been doing it wrong this whole time? Maybe. I'll answer that in a minute. But let's look at some numbers now, though. Let's say you sell a product for $79.95, and the base base cost is $14.95. That base cost is what you have to pay the print-on-demand company for the product. So your profit before tax and ad cost is $60. That's a huge profit margin and should be more than enough to run ads successfully. So if you're looking at that, even if it costs you $50 to get one sale, you're still ahead of the game by $10. So $10 net profit before tax. If you sold 100, that's $1,000 profit. Now, that's not bad, but could we do better? I think so. I think we can. I'm always an optimist that way. That scenario is the one that most use. They go for the sale at one point in time. They don't do any upsells and do not do the most important thing, which is getting the person's email address. So let's discuss those 2 things real quick here. Number 1, upsells. If you do upsells, you're going to make more money. Upsells can be done in 2 basic ways. You can upsell someone immediately after they purchase, or you can upsell them via email afterwards. If you're using Shopify, you can upsell with upsell apps like Zipify, One-Click Upsell. There's a whole bunch in the App Store. If you go there to your Shopify App Store thing, just search for upsell plugins or upsell apps, and you'll find a million of them. That allows you to add in other products that the person might want to buy. So as an example, if you sell a message card or a necklace to a dad who's buying it for his daughter, he completes that checkout, and then you show him another product that is for a wife. So he may or may not buy that too. We don't know if he's married or not, and we don't know if he wants to get his wife a gift, but it is a possibility that he could have a wife, and it's a possibility that he could buy that. So there's your first upsell. So next, maybe you show him a product for a son. So maybe he's got a son and he buys that too. Could work. Those 2 additional purchases now boosted your profits big time. So your average order value on your original purchase goes up because you added 2 more to it. Now, not everyone takes them, but do you see how upsells can be super powerful? They can. Okay, number 2, the second way to upsell is via email right after the purchase. So you can have your system add them to your email list. And then in your email program, you can immediately send them another product or 2 for them to buy. To spice it up even further, say things like, hey, thanks for the purchase. We know that people who bought that one also bought these 2. And to say thanks, we can offer them at like 10% off discount right now. Click here to buy it. That is very powerful too. I think that as online marketers, we tend to get set in our ways. We start to think that our way is the only way that works, but that's not true though. So the answer to the question, have I been doing it wrong the whole time? No, I haven't. I've just been doing it one way. And it's a way that's worked very, very well for me over the years. Going forward though, I can always test more ways, and that's my plan. So I prefer to do print on demand without a store. So I need to use companies that allow me to do that. Of the 2 that I currently use, one allows me to collect the buyer's email and put them onto my email list. That's huge. That company also allows me to add an upsell immediately. So that's also huge. So I'm going to be focusing more on those 2 aspects going forward, big time, because I realize that. The third thing for me to test is something I kind of have already. Like in my group coaching program, I have a method called the Godfather email method. And the basic gist is that's where you make them an offer that they cannot refuse. So why can't people refuse, what can't people refuse online? Discounts. Money talks, and big discounts, which is what that method teaches people to do. So the whole goal of my Godfather email method is to get their email first, then send them the link to their product after with a huge discount attached. So the benefits of that are you get to build a list, which is gigantic. You get that first sale out of the way, and now you've got someone who will buy more in the future from you. Win, 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 win. Like I said, I've taught this method already, and it seems online marketers are in the wrong mindset a lot of the time. It seems that a lot of my students and a lot of people in my group coaching program, buy my courses, boot camps, or whatever, it seems that they prefer that one-hit impulse buy and not anything to do with long-term marketing to get repeat sales. So I could never figure out why that is. Maybe it's just not sexy enough. It's too boring, right? They don't want to build a long-term asset. But the thing is, boring works. So to sum this all up, number 1, pricing low can work if you have upsells in place. If you don't, not going to work. Number 2, there's more than one way to do this business. So just because I say something doesn't mean it's viable. It doesn't mean it's the only way to do it. And I see this a lot. And honestly, the worst students that I have are engineers. The second worst are accountants. And by worst, I mean they, in their worlds where they're coming from, everything is black or white. It's numbers, it's math, it's X plus Y equals this. But the truth is, with online marketing, no matter what you're doing, if it's print on demand or anything else, there's a lot of gray areas involved. And that's where the kind of analytical minds don't do well, because there's a creative side to it too. So there's like an art and science to it. So that's where, like, I know I run live training sessions, and I know I have one guy, and I think he's an accountant, and he always asks me for specific numbers. So what is the conversion rate on the retargeting ad if I do this? I'm like, it depends. And they hate that answer, it depends, but that's just what happens. It always depends. It depends on a lot of different factors, and there's so many different moving parts that I can't give a black or white answer to this, because business is not black or white. Anyway, which leads me to the third thing, which is adapt, adjust, and move forward. Now, this has been my motto since day one in this business and basically in life too. So end of the day, I'm not saying I've done things wrong. I'm not saying that. I've done things the way that I know works for me, but that doesn't mean I cannot test other ways too, and that's my plan going forward. Okay, so I will adapt, I will adjust, I will move forward. When you do that in life, you're going to get ahead. And it's called not learning from your mistakes, but learning from other people's mistakes almost, and saying, okay, if this path that I'm on is not working, then I need to change the direction and I need to do something different. So, and I relate this back to consistency with sales. If you're finding that you have some weeks where you're just kicking butt with sales and it's consistent, you're getting like, I don't know, 10, 15, 100, 200, 300 sales a day, you're doing really, really well, and then all of a sudden you go through a dry spell. Well, you can look back and you can see that how much effort did you put in the previous month to get to where you are today, because the effort that you put in today is not necessarily going to pay off today. So get out of that mindset of, I'm going to launch a campaign, I got to get paid today. If I don't get paid today, it failed. Instead, think of all the long-term assets that you're building up. And that's where the email stuff comes in, which is not sexy to talk about, but it works so well. It's vital to any business. Anyway, if you like this video, please hit the like button, the notification bell, or subscribe if you haven't already. Do all the good old YouTube algorithm things. They really like that stuff. Oh, and if you need some help, check out the links in the description. So depending on when you're watching this, my group coaching program may or may not have the doors open. I basically open the doors a couple times a year to that. So there is a waiting list. If you want to get on that, go ahead. I'm also, right now as I'm shooting this, it's getting really hot out, but I'm putting together another course. I haven't even titled it yet. I think it's going to be called the Print on Demand course. I don't know. I need a fancier name for it. But anyway, that's coming out soon. So stay tuned for that. I've got a lot more videos coming out. And if you have any topics that you want covered about print on demand or about businesses in general, let me know in the comments, because I think the best videos I can possibly do are from you guys. So if you have questions that you've always wondered about, I come from the world of, I used to work a 9-to-5. I hated my job. I'm a dad now, got 5 kids. I work from home. I'm actually sitting right outside my house right now because the cleaner's in there with the vacuum cleaner making a lot of noise. Anyway, so if you have questions, post them in the comments. I'll help you out. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Have a great day.